To get up here to where these Indian dwellings is, let me show you this, and you only see this on your way in. This place is up in the air, way up in the air, where these Indian cliff dwellings are. Now once you get into the park, you don't feel like you're so far up in the air because you're up in these little side canyons. So now we're going to head back up and into the park. Okay, here's the view. Now right over here is Sleeping Ute Mountain. Right down here is Yucca House National Monument. And then if we move over, right about here is Hovenweave. And then if we move on over, right about here is Canyon of the Ancients, off in the distance, so far you can't see it. Right here is the town of Cortez. And then we move around, this rock formation here is called the Knife Edge. I just wanted to show this. This is the old road that we went into the park. It came up through here. And then they made a tunnel through this mountain that we just came through. This used to be the old entrance into the park. And they abandoned this road in 1957. I just wanted to show something. A couple of decades ago when we were here, there was something called the Belcher Forest Fire that burned this park all up. And it was burned up when we were here. It was completely burnt. But you can see these dead trees that are sticking out of the existing trees. Those are still standing from that forest fire. Let me turn right here and you can see better. Right here where you can see all these dead trees. Those were burned in a forest fire. And it was just nothing when we were here before. But so it's nice to see everything, nature has recovered and things are growing back in nicely. And I was really wanting to see how much difference there would be in just 10 or 15 years from nothing. And it's all looking pretty again. So I just wanted to point that out. So right here is where we were at a while ago. This is at Knife Edge, and the park road used to come in right here on this cliff. And so we're on the other mesa across from that now. I just wanted to take a little shot of that as we go into the park. Now the Indians see. Now once you get over here, you can't tell it's a high. You get into here where this is where they built these Indian ruins. And this is probably, I think, the last time we're going to move away from this edge now and go into the park. And so let's move on. There's a pretty little wildflowers growing in here. I just thought I'd take a little shot of that. Some orange and yellow, some blue ones. And we're in the middle of nowhere, so these are truly some wildflowers. One of the old trees that was killed in that forest fire, the Belcher Forest Fire. It's kind of cool looking.
It's scary.
This is one
I don't like this.
steep road.
And it's dropped off on both sides.
And it just drops off on both sides.
This one's up here, and it drops off there.
Probably hard to tell on the video, it's so steep. I just want to show this little valley here. This valley completely burned up in a fire in 1989. A fire came through this valley, and it's recovering very nicely. Now see, this is the valleys that are inward. Now if you turn around this way, right on the other side of this hill is that big view that we had a while ago, that big drop off. That's what I'm saying. We're on top of a mesa here. And on top of this mesa, there are smaller valleys. And this is where the Indians built these cliff dwellings. Okay, now here's a canyon off the side of the road here where we stopped. I want to show you something interesting here. Come on around. I'm going to show you the whole canyon. Now we come back around to here. And we zoom in. And right there, some Ute Indians built a house here. When did it say they built this? I'm gonna back out now because it's so hard to hold this camera. It was zoomed in that far. Most of these ruins are around 7 centuries old. 7 centuries ago. But no, there's some big ones here. We're gonna see one that's an entire city later. But anyway, I just want to stop and show you. This is just a small ruin along the way. We just stopped on the side of the road here. We're going to walk back a little side trail to this. You see where the trees were burnt from the fire like 20 years ago. You can still smell it. It smells burnt. You can smell burnt wood in the air 20 years later. But everything's growing up nicely around it. I'm amazed that you can still smell the burn. We were here before when it first happened, and it was everything was charred and black and burnt. And so this is why I really wanted to come back now and see how everything had recovered. But I just can't believe it smells like burnt firewood. But I'm gonna walk down here and see if we can get a view of the canyon. And the old lady's coming. She's just slower.
Oh, up yours. Turn around and keep walking.
She's got one bad knee. The other knee's artificial. I just love being out west. I love the country. You got a nice little bench up here you can sit on. Now here's some more canyon. Let's move around here. Give you a view here and hold on, there'll be another thing to look at. Keep moving around. And right about here we're going to zoom in. Right there is an Indian watchtower. It's nice having this camera with the high def and the big zoom on it. I can pick these things out and show you. In past video cameras, there's no way I could ever have shown you this. I can zoom in a little more, I think. Let me see. It's really hard to hold the camera still. Alright, I'm going to zoom back out. There, that's a little easier. I'm old, I'm shaky, it's hard to hold the camera still with all that zoom. Alright, well now I'm going to shut the camera off and we're going to head back up and move down the canyon some more. Well, I guess we're going to take a break for a minute or two since the old lady's having a break. But look how pretty that is. Look at how pretty that is. Look at those wildflowers down there. Look at how pretty that is. There, now I'll get a picture of you and the pretty wildflowers.
It's nice out here.
I know. I was talking when I was walking down there about how I love it out here out west.
I know. Wish we could live out here. I really do.
I just want to show like a side angle of these cliffs that these Indians would climb up and down and build these places. This is just amazing.